Okay. Hi guys, just giving it a little bit to let people come in. Hi OD, how are you? Hi Stella. You guys know the deal. It's a weekly check-in for any survivors of narcissistic abuse, domestic abuse, men, women, doesn't matter the gender. You're more than welcome to join us. We'll get our talk on. I actually want to use this time, today's live, to answer questions. You know, just any questions that you guys may have. I mean, I'm going to talk, but I'm not going to ramble like I always do. All right. So any questions for anybody who's new, any questions for anybody who's going through a discard and, you know, going through the motions, they don't know what they're, you know, dealing with. Any questions you may have, just please ask away. All right. My focus is going to be completely on everybody who's in the chat, anyone who does have questions. All right. So first things first, we got to give some disclaimers because I got to let people know what the real deal is. Okay. Number one, this is a chat room for people who have gone through narcissistic abuse, domestic abuse, any forms of abuse. Okay. It does not limit to narcissistic abuse. So please don't feel as if you had to have gone through it to understand it or even learn about it. Number two, medical disclaimer. I'm not a mental health professional. Okay. I do not look to have my work substitute as, you know, a professional service in that you know, if you're seeking therapy, continue doing it. If you are getting professional help, continue doing it. This is simply a channel for pretty much just for information, standard information that you may need. So please always use discretion if you are applying certain situations to your situation. Okay. And number three, most importantly, I don't tolerate bullying. So anyone who joins this chat, if you bully anybody on this chat, any of the followers, anybody who's joining, anyone who is interacting, or even myself, hope that my moderators get to you before I do because I have a mouth on me. Okay? So now that we got that out the way, let me say hi to people. Thank you, Stella. Thank you, sweetheart. I think my hi Vanessa. Okay, I think my phone is a little slow on this end. So, I mean, you guys already know, throw up those purple hearts if you are in support of awareness of narcissistic abuse, domestic abuse, for anybody who's going through it, for anyone who has lost anyone due to domestic violence, for anyone who is just, you know, enduring it. Okay. Throw up those purple hearts, please. It gives the voices to the voiceless, okay? To the many people who unfortunately did not make it and who are still struggling to make it. So let's make it happen for them, guys. I just want to see if I can put the light a little more. All right, that should be good. That should be good. I thank you, Keiki. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Kiet, I'm sorry guys, I'm blind too. Kieta, welcome sweetheart. I'm so glad you're here. M Woke with I'm gonna start butchering names, so I'm gonna call you Woke, all right, Woke? I thank you so much. I thank you, sweetheart. I'm sorry, because I got my contacts. Kate the model. I wish. I wish I was related to her. Okay? I would be like so living the life. So living it up. But I thank you. I thank you for that. Thank you. You know something, what's funny? I've been told that a few times. I have been told that a few times. And I'm a big Mariah Carey fan too. So, you know, definitely, that is definitely a very big compliment. Thank you so much. I thank you. Yeah, I'm actually, you know, I'm a down to earth person. You know, I don't like drama. I like, you know, I like to just have a really peaceful atmosphere, you know, and the people who come into my environment, or if I go into people's environments, I'm one who likes to keep everything cool, calm, and collected. But, you know, with being that type of person, you do have people that will try to like make you come out of character. And I'm not going to deny it. It has happened. But, you know, I've learned a lot of discipline in keeping control. You know, and that's a lot of things that a lot of survivors have in common. You guys don't really look for arguments or problems or drama. You know, you want normality in your life, but unfortunately you come across people who are just, you know, so self-absorbed, and they really do a number on you. They really do a number on you. And it when you come out of the situation, it just makes you feel like you're not even yourself. You're not the same person you used to be. And I want to tell you guys, going through the motion, I mean, a lot of people go through it. Some people become like their abusers, and others become more aware about themselves, more aware about situations. So continue going in that path, okay? Don't become like the people who've abused you, who have, you know, manipulated you, who have done these horrible things. Don't become like them. Don't become like them, okay? You're a lot stronger than you think. And sometimes you just need a little push to understand that, you know, what you've lost and what you've endured, you'll find out that in the end, it's really a blessing. It really is a blessing. Michaela, how are you, sweetheart? I thank you, Stella. I thank you. I try. I'm still, when I go up that way, up your way, I'm definitely coming to your shop so you can do my hair. So guys, okay, let me just make sure. So guys, you know, there were a few things also that I did want to talk about. I guess when people start posting questions, I'll answer them accordingly. But there were just a few things that I did want to talk about, especially for those who are wondering if they are going through narcissistic abuse or, you know, just any form of abuse. One of the things I wanted to talk about was, you know, the whole invalidation thing. The reason I wanted to talk about that is because, you know, I do get, like I said, I do monitor. And if I don't get a chance to see them, you know, my best friend, she monitors, you know, comments and things that people say with regards to my content and the videos I make. And clearly a lot of them think that, you know, we are attacking people who are different. You know, different. Like, how can you classify someone as a narcissist if you don't really know? And, you know, a lot of the time I get the most frequent comment I get is, well, everybody, you know, victims need to take accountability for themselves as well, because, you know, they always want to sit there and cry victim as if they didn't contribute to anything or they didn't do anything in the dynamic. Yet again, no one has said that, because victims already know what part they played in it. Okay, they already know that they have enabled these behaviors, because yes, could they have left? Should they have left? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, that was not the case. Now, though victims have their own roles, and yes, they have to take accountability for themselves, with that same breath, who deserves that kind of treatment? You know, let's first talk about what makes a relationship narcissistic. Okay, let's talk about that first, because I come to learn that so many people in the world have an opinion. So many people have something to say about something, but then they don't know the facts, right? They weren't there in your life, in your relationship, in your home. They weren't there to witness what was going on behind closed doors. As far as everybody else knew, your relationship was, you know, it was a bed full of roses, was it not? And that's, of course, because you tried your hardest to make something work. Let's face facts about something, guys. You were trying to revive a dead horse. That's what you were trying to do. Okay, and I'm not faulting you for that, because you wanted so hard, you wanted so badly to see that work. You wanted so badly to see it happen for you, you know, because you loved the person. Trust me, I get it. I completely and utterly get it. And you wanted to overlook the bad things because you were focusing more on the good things, right? You know, in the beginning, it's always honeymoon stage, right? Sweet, loving, caring. But that's not always the case with every narcissist either, because some of them just come off as maybe shy. They may appear humble. They may even appear insecure, where they're not very confident in themselves. So what do? They pretty much put themselves in the spotlight, so you will kind of give them that nurturing, caring, loving kind of feeling, you know, giving them compliments, trying to boost up their confidence. The reality is they were looking for you to boost up their ego. Okay, maybe their ego was bruised by someone else before you, or maybe it was bruised and they didn't, you know, they couldn't find ways to cope with it. They couldn't find ways to handle that ego bruising. A lot of people go through different scenarios. You're going to go through different scenarios, you know, and just because if they don't love bomb you in the beginning does not necessarily mean that they're not a narcissist or they're not narcissistic. It just simply means that this is a different type. It's a different type, because at the end of the day, all of the behaviors are pervasive. They're all the same. It doesn't matter if they give you the love bombing in the beginning or not. How did they treat you in the middle? How did they treat you in the end when they discarded you, or if you found yourself having to discard them? You understand? People tend to go based on the general. You cannot generalize a spectrum. You can't do that, okay? Narcissism is a spectrum. Autism is a spectrum. Blindness is a spectrum. There are different types of spectrums. You can't just generalize everything onto one individual. Okay, you may be dealing with a covert narcissist. You could be dealing with an overt narcissist. You could be dealing with a malignant, a somatic, or a cerebral narcissist. It all depends on their conditioning, their abusive conditioning. That's what it really depends on. Let me see. I'm sorry, guys. I just want to make sure. Kate, the name, the red lipstick, you know what? This lipstick is actually, remind me before I you know, end the chat, because it's in, can you pass me, if you don't mind? It's right there on top of my, on my sink. It's actually a red lipstick that I bought literally at like one of those bargain places. It's not even a like a brand like MAC or anything like that. It's like a $3.99 matte, a $3.99 matte liquid lipstick. Marcy, yes, it's absolutely necessary to cut off contact with the narcissist. It's absolutely necessary. Kate, this is called, I think it's called NICAK, Nickak, New York, True Matte. This is literally like $3.99. Like I don't even spend a crazy amount of money on. I get if you guys are wondering my makeup, I get CVS, Walgreens, whatever's on sale. That's what I get. But yes, Marcy, it is absolutely best to cut off complete contact with a narcissist. If you have children with a narcissist, you have to do, I mean, some people, you know, people call it gray rock. I call it playing them at their own game, but just being wiser about it. Okay, being smarter about it. So if you have children with them, minimize your contact and focus primarily on the children. Do not allow any room for any personal questions. Do not allow any room for, because they can use your children as pawns. They can have your children monitoring the things that you do. You know, sometimes they may, I don't know, they may try to offer the children things, you know, bribe them just to see, you know, hey, I'm going to take you for ice cream. And so what's going on in mommy's house? Is mommy dating someone new? You know, they try to get information out of the kids. So try to keep everything as minimal as possible. Okay. But if you don't have kids with them, you have no other ties with them, cut it off. Just cut it off completely, because all they're going to do is find other ways to come back in. And each and every time, if you repeat a cycle with them, it's going to get worse and worse. It never gets better. It always gets worse, because you're allowing them. You're allowing them back in. You're allowing them to continuously re-enter your life. So, just definitely keep that in mind. More cheese. More cheese. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Yeah, one lolly. They have way too much. They have way too much more energy than me. That's because it's you know what it is. It's not their own energy. It's other people's energy. Okay. When you have too much of something, I mean, if you have someone who is, considerably, is a void, right? If you have someone who's a complete void, that's how these people thrive. That's how they thrive. They thrive off of the use of other people's energy. Okay, your relationship, when everybody was looking out from the outside, looking in, and they're seeing how nice your relationship was and how stable it appeared, and how, probably not picture perfect, but you guys had a good relationship and everything was going accordingly. That's because you played the role as, we're going to call it, you played the role as the codependent. And the codependent is the one who pretty much makes sure that everything looks pristine to everyone standing on the outside. But nobody knows what's going on the inside. Okay? These people thrive off of other people's energy. Because if they don't know self-love, if they don't know how to validate themselves, that they got to go trying to take it from everybody else, trying to get their ego stroked, then how do they survive? They survive off of your energy. So you don't have energy, because chances are the person or the people you were dealing with was too busy draining you of it. Okay? Yes, Kate the model. Absolutely. I mean, again, just make sure that what you do, because, I always advise people, if you're going to record them, if you're going to, if you're going to use any type of technology to, because if you're doing things with regards to the law and court, some things might not be admissible. Some things may even be considered illegal. So you got to be careful with that too, guys. If you're trying to record them, and if they are aware of it, and you did not, because technically the law goes based on facts. They go based on the law. So I usually advise people, if you get voice messages, if you get text messages, emails, anything, any kind of proof that you can, print out or you can save, because a voicemail is completely different from confronting them and recording them. Completely different, because they could flip that around and they could say you antagonized them or you provoked them. Okay. So please be very, very careful. Whatever state you're in, make sure you check your laws to just find out, because if it's something that you got to take them to court for, if it's something that you have to, it's some kind of legal battle, you want to make sure that what you have is admissible. It's something that you can use in a courtroom. Yeah, Letty, and that right there, that is, what that is. Well, that is a form of enabling. It is a form of enabling, and it's pretty much, you wanted to, which I get it. Like, if I really thought about my role in wanting to make the person that I was dealing with appear to be, like a really good person. Like, yeah, they have their moments, they have their days, but everybody else on the outside, like if they slip, or if the mask slips and somebody catches that and they would bring it to my attention, I found myself defending that person or defending these people. I would find myself defending them. Like, listen, it's not really that bad. It's, and you would you see yourself trying to work things to make them get along. And if it didn't happen that way, what would happen? You probably would have found yourself siding with the narcissistic person. Okay. And that would probably have made you appear to be disloyal, and listen, again, I understand, because I've been in that position before myself. And as a codependent and ex-codependent person, you look at that, like, you look at the relationship like, but I really love this person and I really want to be with this person, and they're not seeing what I really see. So they catch him on a bad day, or they catch him with, a little bit of attitude or a little bit of arrogance, but he's not always like this. You find yourself trying to defend that person to other people, and 9 out of 10 times it usually is the same people who've been trying to break that up because they see what it's doing to you, even though you don't see it. Right? You look in the mirror, you're not seeing it because you're too busy being attached to the person. But other people, especially people who know you really well, they're seeing it, they're bringing it to your attention. I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever gone through that where, you've lost friendships or, close relationships with, maybe family. And it's all due to the fact that your loyalty was so embedded with that person that it ended up stripping you. That is where they, and listen, let me tell you something too. They know what they're doing too, because they know their behaviors and their habits. And they know that what it does is it pulls you away because they like to isolate you. Okay? They don't want you getting attention. They don't want you getting focus. They don't want you having any type of, any type of pedestal unless it's from them, because then they get to control your confidence. They get to control your insecurities. They get to control, they basically, the puppet strings, they get to do that with you. But if you are with other people who are realists, who are logical, who are trying to put some sense into your head, that clearly is a threat to them. And they're going to, do whatever it takes to keep you away from whomever it is that may actually pull you away from them, may actually have you seeing them for who they really are. And oftentimes, I'm pretty sure a lot of survivors have seen them before discard, which, essentially probably led to the survivor discarding the narcissist. So that happens too. I let the narc ruin me. She even tried to come back while dating other guys the same day we broke up. And you know what's crazy about that? A lot of them get away with that. Okay, because they know that you're still invested. And I'm not saying that, listen, I get it because, ladies, I'm not saying that women are much more stronger than men, or, we are more capable. I'm not going to demote you men. Okay, I'm not going to do that. But I think one of the reasons why women, women have had this, society has put that out there, that women are more capable of enduring heartbreak and, healing and moving on from it, because it's just, we're the nurturers, we're the emotional ones. That's just pretty much part of our DNA. But men are supposed to be the more masculine, the more, the more macho men. You don't let a woman make you cry. You don't let a woman hurt you or whatever. And I noticed that if a man has gone through something like this, or even, a really bad breakup, and it affects them, like it really, really hits them hard, it's due to that conditioning as well. It's the conditioning of men don't cry, men shouldn't be emotional, and of course, yes, it is a bruise to the ego. It is a bruise, because what did I tell you guys last week, guys? We all have egos. And it is a bruise to a man's ego to see that a woman got away with something or did something really hurtful, really shameful. And it's even worse if they come back and they've managed to worm their way back in, because you had love for them. You had feelings for them. You felt something there, and oftentimes, if you take them back in, what happens? It happens all over again. And over time, I'm pretty sure, and this is my, I'm gonna say I'm pretty convinced, because this is from my own personal experience. But dealing with men who are emotionally unavailable, there's a reason for that. There is a reason for that. Okay. You have men who are emotionally unavailable because, maybe either their mothers rejected them, their mothers, maybe stifled them, because they can become so resentful towards their mothers that it's projected onto other women. You have men who love the physical attributes of a woman, but resent women on an emotional scale because of some type of, maybe toxic attachment with their own mother. It could also be due to severe heartbreak with, another woman. Okay. How many of you ladies have paid for the actions of someone's ex? How many of you have paid for that? Dealing with an emotionally unavailable man because they don't trust women. They don't, trust the motives. So they're not sure. So what do? They end up messing up the relationship because they're still stuck on what has happened in their past. I've been a victim of that as well. You name it, I've already been there. Martha says, sometimes you don't know better. You keep praying and forgiving, thinking they will change. You know what? And I think that one of the reasons a lot of people, especially a lot of people who believe in God, a lot of people believe in God. Let me explain something here. God forgives because he loves unconditionally. Okay? But he holds you to your word. So at the end of the day, if you are praying and you're hopeful, that they're going to change, oftentimes you're going to get a clear-cut no, that it's not going to happen. Because as much as you would want for someone to change, they have to want to change. They have to change, but at their own will. You can't, we clearly can't force them to do it. Okay? You have people who decide that I'm just going to go my own way. You have people who think the grass is much greener on the other side. And then when they go and find out that there's nothing but piles of shit on the other lawns, then they want to come and, back into your yard. Okay? And what did I say in keeping selfish people away? Okay? When someone makes you an option, when they make you an option, it doesn't matter what you've contributed, because at the end of the day, you could have been with the person a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. The minute they decide to make you an option because they think they can do better than you, and then they go out there and find out that that is not the case, that's the minute that you really have to say to yourself, damn, I spent 10, 15, 20 years with you, and in the blink of an eye, this is the kind of person you truly are. So that means that you were pretty much masking it throughout our entire relationship. Okay? I don't know about you guys. I don't like to be made as an option. Okay? I've never left someone to be with someone else. If I left someone, it's because of myself. Okay? Whether I was in an abusive relationship, whether I was in the kind of relationship where, yeah, maybe the love just wasn't there anymore and I wanted to focus more on myself. But when you have to leave someone to try and be with someone else because you think you have opportunity elsewhere, the same way you get them is going to be the same way you lose them. Okay? And that's the problem that a lot of people don't understand. If you have something good at home and that person is faithful and loving and caring and nurturing towards you, you got to be pretty freaking stupid. I mean, I'm being real with you guys. You have to be pretty freaking stupid to risk that, okay, to go out there because you think all that glitters is gold. Well, I told you guys last week, might just be a gold covered piece of shit. Okay? And then want to come back and say, oh, I made a mistake. No, you made a choice. Do I have to pull out the salt and sugar, the salt and sugar analogy here? Because you made a clear-cut choice. You chose that has a big ass. That one looks better for your image. You thought that one had more money. That one was going places. Oh, because so many people are on that person's behind and they're following them on Instagram and they're giving them so much attention and they give you a little wink. You are quick to drop what we were building, or at least what I thought we were building, because of what? Opportunity? You know what they say, man. When opportunity, knocks your loyalty and it pretty much just puts you in a different direction, they've already shown you their character. They've shown you what they're capable of. Okay? I don't care if they're a narcissist or not. They've shown you what they're capable of. And the mere fact that they would try to sneak back in, it's like, it would be like them sneaking in your room in the middle of the night, right? And you're in bed sleeping. And they're trying to creep through the window because you already done changed the locks. And they're trying to crawl back into your bed and lay next to you as if nothing happened. Listen. I'd sleep with a knife in between my mattresses, okay? Let them know I am not playing with you. Now, the same way you came in, take your ass back out. Okay? Go over to that chick's house. Go over to that dude's house. You thought you were going to have it better than me. And then the crazy part about it, right? You heal. You go through your motions. You go through your therapy. You heal. You do all of these things. And then, you know what? You're ready to love again. You're ready to go out there and do your own thing. You're ready to be with someone who's going to appreciate you because you learned your lesson and everything is all good. Now, they see that you're becoming happy. They see that you are with someone else. They see that you are, and it's genuine happiness. What happens? Oh no, they can't have that. Because then that means that person done set the bar up way more for you. The new person done set the bar up to here. That last person you had the bar here. The new person you have has the bar up here. And once you get a taste of the bar being up here, you're not going back to that. You're not going back to that. But then again, don't fall asleep on it, guys, because there are some people who do fall for that. There are. And I'm not knocking you. I understand it's a process. It is a process, but it's about learning lessons. So once you close that door, please, please, please keep it shut. Don't reopen it. Yep. Yes. Yes. Big Bad says, watch how many times a person says I in a combo. I just watched a video. I don't know. Oh, gosh, I don't know the name of that chick. I watched a video on YouTube and it was this chick who pushed her husband out of the window from the 25th floor of their apartment complex. He put for, that they were going to get separated. They were going to go for a divorce. And she's claiming, it was an accident. He was standing by the window trying to fix the TV. She got mad. She pushed him and he fell 25 stories, bro. 25 stories. And in the interrogation room, that's all she was talking about. How could this happen to me? How can I live without this person? What is everybody going to think about me? Me. That's all I heard coming out of her mouth. Not, oh my gosh, what about his family? Oh my gosh, what about she was pregnant? What about the baby? No, it was all about her. What are people going to think of me? How am I supposed to deal with all of this? Oh my gosh, depression and all. It was all about her. She just killed her husband. She pushed him out of a window, okay? And 25 stories high. And in the interrogation room, she was more focused about what it was going to do to her. How are people going to think about me? They're going to think I'm a killer. They're going to think I'm a murderer. They're going to think about, and it's like, bro, your husband, you just pushed your husband out the window. And that's all that matters to you. People like this, if you put them, not even, I'm not going to say that. Let me redact that because it's not you putting them in this situation. If you decide to up and leave, and let's just say they're financially strapped, right? If you decide to say, I'm moving out, maybe your family, it could have been your parent, it could have been, your spouse, it could have been your boyfriend, girlfriend, what have you. You say, I'm moving out. You decide to pack up your things and leave. You go, you find your own place. That person cannot pay their bills. They can't pay for anything in the house because they were too busy relying on you. They're very irresponsible, okay? Extremely irresponsible. And with that irresponsibility, they blame everyone else for their lack. So if you decide to leave because, you seen through their bullshit, you don't want to deal with it anymore. And with you leaving, that means that they got to take care of their own bills. They got to take care of their own rent. They probably weren't saving up money to work on whatever it is, just if in case that day ever came, because they were so reliant and so dependent on you and your check taking care of things. What will eventually happen? What will eventually happen from that point? that will end up being your fault. If they lose their apartment, it's your fault. If their lights get cut off, it's your fault. Okay? Now, most people would say, well, how is it that person's fault? But of course, they're always going to have a story to tell other people. Okay, they're not going to tell them about the fact that they were financially abusing you. They're not going to tell them that they were gaslighting you while you were staying with them. They're not going to tell them all of the arguments and the nonsense that was going on in the home. They're going to tell them, oh, this person, I mean, they're going to give a number of excuses, but this is like an example. Well, this person, got a inheritance or whatever the case may be, and they decided to just leave me stranded. They're not giving, listen, they're giving partial truth. When they're gaslighting and they're lying to people, they're going to give partial truth. But what they're going to do is they're going to make it so you look like the villain in the outcome. Okay? When you have clearly told them, listen, I'm getting this inheritance. When I get it, I'm going to be leaving. Now, they either may try to mask things, like lay it on real thick to keep you to stay. But even if you still decide to go, they're going to tell other people you abandoned them, you left them stranded, you left them stuck. Right? All the while, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with this type of situation, all the while, let's say a month or so ago, they were telling you, get your shit and get the fuck out of my house. Right? Listen, I've been there. I know what it is. And it doesn't matter the relationship. It does not matter the relationship. My ex literally tried kicking me out of my place after I told him to leave. And I male narcissists, one of the things, and I tell you ladies, keep pepper spray, keep mace, keep anything that can protect you. Keep anything that can protect you. Because I don't know the size of these dudes, okay? For all I know, you could be 4'8" wet, 98 pounds. And you got a boyfriend or a narcissistic ex who's like 6 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? Don't fall asleep on these people. Do not fall asleep on them, okay? They can become very dangerous. Physically violent. They can resort to that. It does not necessarily have to just boil down to verbal abuse, cheating, lying, and gaslighting. They can become physically violent, and they can, if triggered hard enough, they can snap. You have to be very careful, which is why if you know for a fact you're dealing with someone like this is why it's important you remain no contact. It's why it's important you keep yourself off the radar with them. Because if they're capable, or there's a possibility that they can do something dangerous, given the opportunity, more than likely they will. Okay? Narcissistic people, sociopathic people, they don't care about other people. They don't care about themselves. They don't care about other people. And the mere fact that, you know what? Screw it. I don't have anything else to lose. If they walk with that mentality, those will be the same type of people that will take action. So be very, very careful with that. Let me just go back a little bit. I want to make sure I got... Absolutely. Sunkiss says, I've been married for 29 and he cheated plenty of times. It's not you. Remember that. Yeah. Don't let them deflect onto you. Don't let them tell you, oh, well, if you fixed yourself up better, I'd be more attracted to you and I wouldn't be cheating with these other girls. That's deflection. Okay? Fellas, the same with you. Okay? If you would have been a better man, or if you would actually be a man, I wouldn't go out there dealing with these other... That is avoiding accountability. They won't admit that they're wrong. They'll blame you. They will blame you for them doing what it is that they do. And not only are they blaming you, they are pretty much tearing down your confidence. Because now it's like, not only did you cheat on me, but you're blaming me because what am I not? And then you start to question yourself. What am I not doing? What am I not doing that this person isn't attracted to me anymore? What am I not doing that this person feels the need to go outside of our relationship? Listen, that person was a twat. Straight up. Okay? Their infidelities, their cheating, their opportunistic ways, them going out there and seeking people from the outskirts, them going out there and doing whatever the hell it is they don't want you doing, okay? That had nothing to do with you. That's their insecurities, okay? A lot of these people, when they're in relationships, especially when they're in relationships with empathic people, empaths, even codependents, okay? They're jealous. They have this string of jealousy that runs with their veins. It's just that jealousy is inherent. It's embedded within them. They're jealous of other people because other people don't have to do or go to the measures that they have to go to gain attention, to be appreciated, to feel, to feel accepted. They have to wear a whole freaking mask. Okay? The only time we wear masks is when? During Halloween. One day a year. They have to wear it throughout their lives because they lack depth. They lack personality. They lack empathy. They lack all of the things that people just have, that people just possess naturally. They lack these things. So in order to feel good about themselves, they have to put you down. They have to put you down. They have to make you feel like you're this small, because them making you feel this small makes them feel this big, like huge. It's all a ploy. It's all a ploy. Don't let them try to flip everything around and make you feel like, listen, if things didn't work out between you and someone, you both take accountability for your actions. One goes one way, the other one goes the other way. What makes the relationship? This was what I asked originally. What makes the relationship narcissistic? Okay? What makes it narcissistic is when it's completely one-sided. It's completely one-sided. If a narcissist is a person whose self-importance is considered to be the most important in your relationship, everything is one-sided. You will be contributing the emotions. You will be contributing, the different things that will make your relationship enjoyable. You will be contributing 90% of that relationship while they're sitting there and doing what? They're being nice to you 1 minute, but since they were nice to you for 5 minutes, that means that it warrants them being an asshole or a bitch to you the next day for a full 24 hours. What? No, I don't think so. I do not think so. If you're not going to be nice to me because that is your way of reciprocating my genuineness, but you're going to be nasty to me and I'm giving you love, I'm treating you good, I'm treating you better than your own parents, better than the people in your life who's been enabling toxicity, I've been doing all of this for you and you're not going to reciprocate that to me, you got to go. That's it. You have to go. Don't let what goes on between the legs fool you guys. Don't let that fool you either, okay? Just because, listen, you can have a dude sitting there talking about, yeah, I'm packing. Yeah, there are plenty of other men out there packing too. He's not the only one walking with the ding-a-ling between his legs. He's not. And fellas, the same goes for you. Trust me. You got a lot of them. Kind of, a little bit younger. Tighter. Probably more sweeter. Straight up. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Okay? I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And by younger, I mean, of age. We don't fuck with that. Okay? We don't fuck with that. But, of age. Someone who's within the age range of dating and having sexual relationship. Okay? But do not let these people have you thinking that they walk with, a penis or vagina made of gold. There are 7 billion people on the planet that got one or the other. So what the hell makes you think that yours is so great? No, that's because they convinced you that is. So if they over here doing cartwheels and magic tricks on your shit, come on. You got plenty of other people, plenty of other women, plenty of other men out there who know how to satisfy a man, who know how to satisfy a woman, and knows how to love you right. You could get you could get everything, the whole package. If you go to McDonald's and you're hungry, what do you want? You want the chicken nuggets or you want the whole damn meal? So I'm giving you a whole meal's worth, but you giving me a 4-piece nugget? Man, listen. You know what they can do with their damn nuggets. Don't have me speak on it. I'm over here giving you a whole Big Mac with fries and a large Coke, and you giving me 4-piece nuggets. You better go ahead with that bullshit. Yeah, no, like, that's exactly how your relationship. It's like you're giving all of these benefits. You're doing all of these things. And listen, don't get me wrong. Listen, at the end of the day, anybody in the room kind of want to hear something a little remotely, slightly, possibly not really positive? Okay. They were conditioned to be this way. But that's still not an excuse. I can't make excuses for people who are conscious of what they're doing. I won't. They know what they're doing. They knew what they were doing. So when you were sitting there calling them, what are you doing? Oh, I'm hanging with my homies. Meantime, that chick was sitting right next to him. What are you doing? Oh, I'm outside, just chilling with my girls. Meantime, there was another dude picking her up. They know what they're doing. When someone lies to you, they know what they are doing because they know it's a lie. Don't let them come to you talking about, oh, I didn't realize what I was. Save it. Save it for the next pendeja that runs in your way. Okay? Don't even want to hear it. Don't even want to hear it. Yeah, no, guys, you guys deserve so much better than that. You really do. You deserve so much better than that. And dealing with people like this who wanna, it's kind of like that, they print out the Mona Lisa on a printer, trying to play it off like it's the real deal when it's like, no. Heal your trauma. A lot of people don't like what I have to say about it. And some people will be like, oh, but you're talking about the victims and you're siding with them and, you're validating them. It's about damn time. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it. I'm not going to sit here and validate an abuser. I'm not going to sit here and validate someone who knows right from wrong. And just as much as I don't want to validate them, I validate victims and survivors. I also tell them, be accountable for your own shit. I'm that kind of friend. I will tell you if you're wrong. I will tell you if your tactics are being a bit manipulative because people can be that way too. It doesn't just have to be a narcissist. Codependent people can be manipulative too. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to invalidate someone who experienced emotional trauma, psychological trauma, physical trauma, sexual trauma. I'm not invalidating people. How many people took their life because they weren't being validated? Nah, we don't do that over here. We don't do that over here. Let me see. Exactly. Just like Ruth says, don't believe the hype. Don't believe, that's all it is hype. That's all it is hype. Okay? They use certain things as a weapon to control you. If they know that you are, like, if you have shown them insecurities, if you've shown them that you maybe have trust issues, you're, a little insecure, which sometimes, we do that. We can show that we can pass that energy out. And it may not be so obvious for us. They know how to triangulate because if they feel like you're not giving them the attention they want, or if they feel like you're not, you're not pleasing me the way I want you to please me today, what are they going to do? They're going to triangulate. They're going to try to set something up, or they're going to do something. They may do anything. It could be anything, guys, out of the blue. Maybe they'll put up a photo and you have a bunch of different people, people of the opposite sex, same sex, whatever you prefer. And they're getting all of this attention and they're thriving off of it. And if you say, well, maybe it's from people that, you don't even know who they are. And you say, well, who's this person? Who's that person? What's your problem? Why are you acting so insecure? They know what they're doing, man. They know what they're doing. Because let you do something like that. Let you go ahead and put up a picture, a nice picture of yourself. And they see all these people giving you attention and all these people coming at you saying you're beautiful. You can't even get a compliment around them. You can't even get a compliment around them. If someone gives you a compliment and they happen to hear it or they're around, oh, who's that? Who's that calling you handsome? Or who's that calling you beautiful? It's like, I can't even get a compliment. Like, I'm with you, so what's the problem? They don't like that. They do not want you having any type of external validation. If they're not the ones giving it to you, when they want to give it to you, when they're scheduled, because they schedule themselves. It's kind of like feeding time, right? They'll set the time and date. I think maybe I'll give Erica a compliment on Tuesday if she's good. I think maybe I'll, give her some flowers on Friday just to kind of, make her feel good about herself. But, eventually she's going to have to repay me back for that. Everything's done with motives. Everything's done with agendas. I look at it as, you got to look at it this way, guys. What did you lose? Ask yourself that. What did I lose? What did I lose? I lost a headache. I lost paranoia. I lost jealousy. I lost toxicity. I lost fighting. I lost monitoring. I lost someone looking through my shit, looking through my phone when I'm either not in the room or when I'm asleep. Okay. I lost having to walk on eggshells. I lost having to, if I wanted to go use the bathroom and play a game on my phone, because I used to have to do that. I had to put the volume all the way up just so that person can hear that I was playing Candy Crush, so they wouldn't sit there and think that I'm talking to somebody else. Okay. I had to do that too. I don't know about you guys. It's 2022. I'm not stroking no egos. I'm not stroking anyone's ego. We're not going to sit here and I'm just going to continuously validate and validate. No, what you put in, I'm going to put in. And if you decide to sit there and be on some, I'm going to wait for her to make the first move. Then you're going to be waiting for a while, because if we're not moving at the same pace, then there is really no sense in us going any further than this. Okay. Don't stroke any more egos. Don't bother with the egos. The ego is, you know what the ego is? The ego is the shadow, right? The ego is the shadow. It comes out when the sun is out, but when it's pure darkness, it leaves you. Okay? That's exactly what the ego is. And for that, stroke your own ego. Make yourself feel good. Fulfill your self-confidence. Validate yourself. Okay? They want someone to stroke them off. Tell them to go to the many other little females or the many other little dudes who are out there that are thirsty as hell. Let them do it. Because these people will have to eventually see them for who they truly are. Yep. Never settle for less. Never settle for less. Once you block them, they go crazy on social media. Yeah, one thing I've noticed is that when I blocked quite a few people, I noticed, fake accounts, fake pages, different people trolling me. And yet they're all done under false accounts. They can't use their real accounts to contact me because they're blocked. But at the end of the day, I have other means of contact. And I personally, I've been no contact for 3 years. About 3 years. I've been no contact. I haven't bothered with anyone. I don't call anyone. I don't talk. For what? Why am I going to talk to people? Why would I even bother dealing with people who weren't even trying to deal with me when I was going through the motions? It's like, the hell am I? A puppy? No. I'm a stray dog that I'm going to come looking for scraps? Who the hell are you? No. I don't look for nobody. I'm like, no. These are who, this is the kind of, the kind of system. I call them a system. It's like narcissists come from the types of families that are very, just very toxic. It's the environment is so, and so drenched with toxicity. The people they associate with are either the same as them or they're enablers. And if you're a little too woke to be going back to that, you can't even be around those people either. Even if you don't have problems with them, even if you say, well, I don't have a problem with this person's sister or this person's brother. I don't have a problem with this. It does not matter what you do and don't have. Once you cut ties with the narcissist, you got to cut ties with everybody who is involved with them. And that's another problem that a lot of victims and survivors have. They stay in contact with these people. I don't care if they're black sheep. I don't care. Because at the end of the day, if it boiled down to it, no matter what problems they go through, that's still their family. Their loyalty is still going to be with their family. Okay? Why even bother dealing with someone who would probably bring someone else to your funeral if you died tomorrow? More than likely, their own family wouldn't even bother to attend. Okay? Where were they? Where was everybody when you were dealing with it? Nobody knew you anymore. Nobody bothered to hit you up. Nobody bothered to see how you were doing, right? But then when you start doing good things or you start doing better, or if the narcissist wants to try to worm their way back into your life, what are they going to do? Same people who had nothing to do with you when you were dealing with it, they're going to use them to try to contact you. Get the, nah. No, I said I was going to try to calm down, guys. I was going to try to calm down for 2022. Okay? But the same ones who couldn't say nothing to you when you were dealing with it are going to be the same ones that are going to be willing to reach out to you. Why? Why? Because they want something? Because the narcissist or the narcissistic person wants to try to find the way back in. So what are they going to do? They're going to use their family. They may even use their kids. They may even use their kids, especially for those of you who have bonded with their children. They might use their kids to try to contact you. Don't do it. I tell people, don't do it. I let them know, listen, I bonded, and at the end of the day, I don't want to end up saying something that's going to hurt feelings. So do not make that approach. Do not make that approach, because if it boils down to it, you got any of your family hitting me up. They say something stupid to me, I'm going to say something back, and trust me, they're not going to like it. I don't care if we were sitting down at family functions, smiling and laughing and having fun. Where the hell were you when I was going through it? Where were you? You didn't know me, but you knew their ex. Because the family knows the exes too, guys. Yeah, they do. They know the exes too. Okay? They know the exes. They know the exes before you. They know the person after you. Okay? That's all enabling. Just cut it off. Cut it off. Because those were the same people that were smiling in your face, knowing what type of person you were dealing with. And instead of being upstanding kind of people and saying, you know something, you seem like a nice person, you seem like someone who really deserves better, they enabled that shit. They enable that. And you are another one that bites the dust. So what happens when you get discarded? Boom. If they go for something else, or if they do something else, then there's the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next. No, please. Please. No, I'm good. I'm good on that one. Yeah, they messaged me here because I blocked him everywhere, saying he doesn't know how it happened. Oh, I don't know how it happened. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened between. Bullshit. That's such bullshit. You were there. Were you standing here in front of me when this all happened? Were you not conscious when you were saying the mean, hurtful things you were saying? Were you not conscious with how you were talking to me? Were you not conscious with the fact that I was trying to gain clarity from you, and while you were ignoring me, you were entertaining other people? You don't know how this happened? Unless that person has the mind of a 2-year-old, and I mean literally has the mind of a 2-year-old, that, no, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. And anything to not make themselves look bad. Okay? I'm pretty sure they're telling other people you abandoned them. I'm pretty sure they're telling other people they finally left you because you were the abusive one. You were the one trying to be in control. You were the hurtful one. You were the cheating one. They probably told everybody else, oh, it just didn't work out and that person left. Or they told everybody else, oh, you know, this person was just too insecure and they were constantly accusing me. Listen, my ex constantly accused me of accusing him. He went and basically told his family that I was accusing him of being disloyal. Never did anything like that come out of my mouth. Well, she doesn't think I'm loyal. She doesn't think I'm loyal. She's constantly accusing. Meantime, I walk into my house to find him in the dark in my bedroom, looking at me like I just screwed his best friend. Seriously? Seriously. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Okay? When they tell you, or they tell their family, or they tell their friends, oh, you know, this person was like this, and they're flipping the roles. That's all they're doing. They're flipping the roles. They're telling them the things that they were doing, but they're using you as the person who was doing it. Okay? That's what they're doing. And at the end of the day, amazingly enough, and I know a lot of you, and let me tell you, anybody who's going through a discard, a recent discard, a new one, if you're thinking about reaching out to their family, trying to gain clarity, you will not get it. You will not get it. You will not gain clarity. You will not get the answers that you want. You will not get any of those things. Okay? You're going to pretty much probably get passive aggressive behavior. That's what you're going to get. Passive aggressive behavior. That was, well, I know passive aggressive very well, because the same people who involve themselves with you, with, you know, the same people whom was surrounding you with this person when you guys were together, are the same ones who want to know precisely what happened, because people are nosy by nature. People want, you know, people want gossip. People want bonchinche. That's what they want. But they don't want to get involved. They don't want to get involved in that. You know, I don't want to get involved in this because this is between, it's bullshit. It is bullshit. Okay? And those are usually the same kind of people who, what did I say about the family of a narcissist? They talk shit about you. They'll all talk shit about you behind your back. And then boom, when shit hits the fan, they talk about the narcissist. They talk about other family members. So as soon as someone leaves the room, they're all talking shit about that person. That person comes back, another person leaves the room, they're all talking shit about that person. They're all two-faced people. They're all two-faces. And these are people you cannot trust. You cannot trust any of them. So if you feel it in your heart, I don't have a problem with this person. I don't have a problem with them. We're not, you know, we're not enemies. You make them your damn enemy until you heal. You make them your damn enemy, because once you see them for who they truly are, you were already prepared for that. And you already seen everything. So now it makes it so much easier to not deal with them. Okay? Trust me when I say that. Trust me. Because now I can walk past someone, won't even look at them twice. I will not look at them twice. Because the minute you think that it's all good, I'm still cool with that person. I'm still cool with his sister. I'm still cool with her moms. I'm still cool with his brother. I'm still cool with her aunt. I'm still cool with these people. Those are going to be the same fucking people that are going to come in and try to hoover you back in for the narcissist. Telling you right now. Mark my words. Te lo juro. He broke a lot of protecting orders in the last 4 months. They don't think the law applies to them. They do not believe the law applies to them. They basically look at it. Look at COVID. COVID is prime example. You know, a lot of people who are like think they're above everyone else, or think that they're more entitled, or they're more, you know, they think what applies to the general population doesn't apply to them because they're so special. The hell makes you so special? Okay? So if the law says, you know, follow these rules for your own safety, they have, I guess, like a God complex. Well, shoot, nothing can happen. Nothing can happen to me. I don't need to follow any rules. It's like, that's their mentality. So an order protection, listen, an order protection, it's a piece of paper. I've had an order protection on somebody, okay? I've literally had to move from one borough to another because of the order protection. It's a piece of paper. That piece of paper is not going to stop someone from trying to hurt you. It's just something written on paper that it's entered in the courts. And if in case something does happen to you, they have that as, oh, well, they violated. What the hell does it matter if the person is, God forbid, deceased? If the person's dead? I think that's the problem with a lot of today's court system, is that they're not looking at mental health like that. They're not looking at the possibilities of how effective it is, because if they put more focus into mental health issues, and I'm talking on every single aspect, okay, criminal, civil, you know, or family, you know, like family court, if they put more focus on the fact that mental health needs to be addressed, you could probably have a lot of different people off the streets, okay, getting the kind of help that they need. But someone who suffers a personality disorder, a mental illness, who is capable of doing these things, what is an order protection going to do? It's going to say, oh, you better stay away from this person. I got this paper here. That shit is not going to stop a bullet. It's not going to stop someone from really, but if they put more focus on mental health issues, if they get psych evaluations for people, if you put an order protection on someone due to mental issues, and at least get the person psych evaluated. What is that? 24, 72 hours? Psych evaluation? Get them evaluated, because at least that can be on record. That right there can be on record. Psych evaluation. This person suffers multiple personality disorder. This person suffers antisocial personality disorder. Mental health is such a big thing that the courts need to acknowledge. They're too busy sitting there like, oh, did you say it? Did you do it? Do you have the proof? You don't have the proof. So what do you want me to do? So you're supposed to lose your life because you can't prove emotional and psychological trauma? Abuse? So I have to sit here and let this person take a pipe and hit me upside my head with it for you to understand that they have severe problems. Five order protections. Constant arrest. Constantly being let go. Okay? You have, how many people have probably been arrested for domestic violence and have been released and eventually went as far as killing the person? Like, that is such, it's such an underrated subject when it comes down to the criminal justice system, when it comes down to the court system. And they really need to start looking into that. I understand the whole issue is funding. I understand, but you know something? Listen, if you're taking a chunk out of my check for taxes, and you are taking, I'm over here paying city tax, state tax, county tax. I'm paying so many damn taxes. Oh, you better believe I'm following that shit by the end of the year. But I'm paying so many taxes. You mean to tell me that you cannot, you know, and plus we're funding these jails. We're funding these jails that are holding these people, you know, holding these people tax-free, because we're paying for that. My taxes are paying for that. And you mean to tell me that you cannot look into funding for mental health? Because maybe if you started there, if you started with mental health, you wouldn't have to worry about so many criminals being in the jails, or these people being murdered by people of, you know, domestic violence, whether they be men or women. Come on. Yeah, I really truthfully believe if they made that a focus, a primal focus, and at least give them a psych evaluation, 24 hours, okay? 24 hours. Evaluate them. Evaluate them. And if a psych says this person may suffer narcissistic personality disorder, this person may suffer, schizophrenia, they may, at least so they can know how to properly, because then they know that that person may be a threat. That person can be a threat. So not only does the victim have an order of protection, okay, but there's a chance that they can actually hold this person in a psych ward or, detain them until they can try to get them the help that they need. I don't care if you got to shove pills down their throat. Do it. How many lives could have been spared? How many homes, How many homes have been destroyed? Because when victims try to prove it in court, when they try to prove abuse, they can't do it. They can't do it because the courts go based on tangible facts. Because you cannot prove emotional and psychological abuse, which eventually, and I said it before, I'm going to say it again, emotional, psychological, verbal abuse, okay? That all leads to physical abuse. That leads to physical abuse, whether that be the final resort or that be somewhere in the middle or somewhere in the beginning. But that leads to physical abuse. So what do the courts have to say about that? What happens? How many people? I mean, listen, can you imagine how many judges or how many, because just like the system failed these children who've been killed by their parents, okay, who've been abused and killed by their parents, the system is failing these children. They're failing people of domestic abuse. They're failing people of domestic violence. Men and women, guys. It's not just women. Men go through it too. It's like, how many more graves do we have to dig up for you guys to understand mental health needs to be the primal focus. That needs to be the first focus. And then you work your way up. I'm just so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I really am. You know what? And it's because everything's about money. Everything's about money, guys. If you see it that the courts, the jails, they're not investing, they're not doing it. If you see the counties aren't doing it, that's also why I think it's really important people vote, because you get to try to put people who are trying to put that into effect for you, depending wherever you live. Okay? Look at the matters, look at the issues at hand, because there's so much that people can avoid. They're not considering mental health. It's mental health that's more the issue. You have so many, don't get me wrong, you got innocent people who are locked up in prison, in jail as we speak. And it's not because they're criminals. It's because they have mental health issues. They have mental health issues. They have, listen, a mental health issue, a disease, whatever you want to call it. But they have issues that need to be addressed by someone who is trained to address these things. Therapy costs money. I get it. People can't afford therapy. Some people can't afford therapy, which is why a lot of people turn to people who are trying to educate and trying to give you the info that you need, because therapy is not cheap. Okay? I don't even know how much per hour. What is it, like 100 and something per hour? It's not cheap, especially considering the economy and with everything with the pandemic. Trust me, I get it. I completely understand, which is why I do this every week, because I want to touch base with you guys to know that you guys are good, and to know that, if you have any questions, I'm always here to help you with whatever you need. I study psychology. I'm not licensed yet. I'm not, I don't have credentials yet, but I study psychology. The same psychology therapists and psychiatrists had gone to school to, for years and years and years. I'm studying as well. So I just put a little more logic into it, because I can relate to you guys so much. I can relate to a lot of what you guys are going through. And yes, I add a little touch of my experience so you guys can understand. I'm here with you. I know what you're feeling, You don't have to deal with it alone. None of you have to do it alone. And it's just mind-boggling to me, because I know a lot of you have children. I know a lot of you have so many responsibilities in your lives, and you're trying to get on. You're trying to move forward, and some of you feel stuck. You can't let it go, or you can't find your way out yet because you're still trying. It's a maze. I get it, but we're going to get you there. Okay? We're going to get you there. So don't ever think that you are going to be judged. You're not. You're alone. You're not. You need someone to talk to? Hit a girl up. Hit a girl up. And if I can't respond to you the same day because I'm old and I try to get to bed at a decent time, I'll hit you up the next day. It's not a problem. And if you have an emergency, send me an email. Send me an email. I always have monitoring on my emails. You know, I want to make sure that you guys are good. I know it's rough with the pandemic. I can only imagine how many of you had to deal with these people during the pandemic. How many of you had to live with these people during the pandemic because you couldn't maneuver around? And some of you are still going through it. I understand. Trust me, I understand completely. You know, I try to do it as much as I possibly can. I try to put up as much as I can. And, you know, just know, guys, you're not alone. You're really not. I don't know you guys personally, and I know you guys don't know me, but sometimes you get more love and support from strangers than your own peoples, you know? And as long as we can all just be together with it, we're like one big family in here. Straight up. We're one big family in here. All right? I'm going to claim you all as Brooklynites. You all are from Brooklyn. That's it. Every single one of you are from Brooklyn. You're my peoples. Y'all my homies, my homegirls. That's it. So when they ask you where you're from, I'm from Brooklyn. He used to tell me he was depressed due to past issues. Is that lies? How you cheat, you feel depressed. Well, narcissists, they're known, I mean, considering the fact that they're voids, it's probably very easy for them to go into depression. When I personally don't think it's depression. If someone cheats and it's like, oh my God, I'm so depressed. Excuse my language, guys, but I'm gonna be very, very blunt with you right now. Did you come? Yeah. So what the fuck are you depressed about? We're adults, right? We're adults. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. What are you depressed about? No, you're not depressed. You feel shame because you were caught. You feel shame because now I see what you're about. I see what you're capable of. And now, because for me, cheating, complete deal breaker. You cheat on me, we're done. I don't care how long we've been together. I do not care. You cheat on me, we're done. But you're going to sit here and tell me you're depressed? What? If anything, sexual intercourse is what releases hormones and makes you relaxed. Don't fall for that bullshit, sweetheart. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, guys. No, they don't. Crystal, they don't love themselves. They don't. And they feel that when they get involved with someone who either is, because you could be secure attachment, you could be anxious, you could be insecure. Guys, if you're curious to know, you know, or if you can resonate, go to the video, the 4 attachment styles, see which one you have, if you do have them. Well, clearly you do, but just see which one it is that you do have. And if you're someone of secure attachment, you know, those are the ones that they got to work a little harder with, because people of secure attachment are more confident. You know, they're self-fulfilling, so they don't need anyone else. But the ones who are codependent, who manage to show that they rely on external validation, it's like a playground for them, man. They go to town. They know you're insecure. They know that you're dependent. They know that you require, in order to feel validated, to feel loved, they know you depend on them for that, because you have made them your whole world. You made them your everything. They're just your little snuggly boo and all that, all those crappy nicknames that they use for you. Some of them don't, but some of them do. Okay, when they're laying it on really thick, okay, they basically rely on your dependency. They rely on you being so insecure, because it makes them feel secure. Your insecurity makes them feel secure. What kind of bullcrap is that? Your insecurity makes me feel secure. That doesn't make, that is just so wrong on so many levels. So many levels. And if there's a chance of you finding someone or meeting someone who can actually love you the way you deserve, because you have the ability to love someone the way you deserve to be loved, again, that's a threat. That is a threat. Which is why I told you guys during a discard, they give you no clarity. They do not want you going anywhere. They want you to stay put. I want you to stay put. I'm going to check this out over here. And if I don't like it, I'll come back. And some people sit there. Some people, I sat there probably about 2 months, 2-3 months. About 3 months I sat there hoping that he would change, hoping that things would have changed. I sat there and I took it. I took the silent treatment. I took the stonewalling. I took the gaslighting. I took everything. Okay. So while he was, everything was pretty much social media. While he was online, he was talking to other people behind my back. He was, probably DMing people because, you know how females can be. Females are like, oh, I see so many different females on this person, they DM him, and then what happens? If he responds, they'll go ahead and put stuff under the pictures. Listen, I'm nosy. I was nosy because I was trying to gain clarity, so don't judge me. But I've seen females making remarks, being, indicative of, we're talking privately. We talk either through the DMs, we're talking, he was probably talking to people on Facebook or whatever, he was keeping me in the cold. He was keeping me out in the cold. He put me on ice, and he hey, listen, let me tell you something, okay? I'm going to tell you something, okay? If you feel you could do better than me, just say it. Come to me and say it. Erica, I think I could do better than you. I think I could find better. Vete. Go. Okay? I will never keep a man where he doesn't want to be kept. That's where you want to go. Go. That did not happen. With me, that did not happen. He did not want me going anywhere. He wanted me to stay put, which was why he was breadcrumbing me. He was messaging me every so often, back and forth, giving me messages. He was, no matter, sometimes he would pop up on me. Knowing that I'm still trying to heal, knowing that I'm wounded, he will pop up on me at my house. He would pop up on me, I wanted to see you. And again, that all the flood of emotions came back. And he knew that he had me where he wanted me. But see, I'm a firm believer that if you're going to play the game, you better learn how to play it really well. Okay? If you're going to play the game, you better learn how to play it really well. Because it's not even the matter of me being a player. I'm not a player. I don't play. I simply learn. There's a difference. Okay? They like to play. We like to learn. And you find yourself trying to gain clarity. You find yourself trying to, listen, you need that one little bit of closure, right? You need that proof. Just that one little bit. Just anything. But because they're gaslighting you so much, they have you thinking that you're seeing things, you're hearing things, you're going crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean? This is how you are. This is why we're not together. It's this. And they're gaslighting you so much that you literally are like, I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to feel. I don't know what to do. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. Okay? When you are going through it, and if you need confirmation, I'm going to give it to you. Okay? When you were going through it, if you were finding yourself going through their social media, looking at pictures, seeing comments, and you're just kind of piecing things together, and you were seeing different ladies, you were seeing different females, men, you were seeing different dudes, and they're commenting. These people came up out of nowhere. You didn't know who they were. You didn't know where they came from. You didn't know anything. Your confirmation, I'm confirming this for you, okay? You went through the discard. You were being silent. They were giving you the silent treatment. When you would text them, they would take hours to get back at you. When you would try to find out what's going on, they will come at you and tell you, you're fucking crazy. What are you talking about? I would never do that to you. Come on. Things manipulators say. 1 and 2. You guys can catch it on my page. Things they tell you. Okay, what are you talking? So where are all these people coming from? This is why I don't deal with you, because you're so insecure. You're always asking questions. And let me tell you something. If you really stop for a second and think about it, remember when they were constantly asking you probing questions, when they were looking at you like you were being a little, listen, ladies, like you were being a little skank, even though that wasn't the case. They were too busy being attracted to little skanks to understand what you were really valued at, to understand what you, because that's what they're used to, sweetheart. So don't even feel bad about yourself, okay? They like females that are easy. That's what they like. You're too much work. You're a high-paying job. And guess what? They don't want to put in the work for the money. Then you don't get the job. Simple as that. Fellas, same thing. When she was making you feel insecure about yourself and she's telling you, I can have male friends, you know, if you were a real man, you would believe me, you would sit here and you do that, all that bullshit that they feed you, all that shit that they feed you with the little baby spoon, okay? Like they're feeding you baby food, okay? Confirmation. These people did not just come out of nowhere. These were people that were waiting in the wings. These were people that they were waiting to invite in, because what did I tell you guys last week? You were putting them on the pedestal. You were boosting their ego. You were stroking their ego, and they got so high that they're looking down their nose at you because you're still down there. You're still looking up, waiting for them to lift you up after you done already lifted them up. And because they were getting attention, because people were, you know, noticing them, because of all of this, now it's like, you need to wait until I get down from my pedestal and I'll come and talk to you. Let me tell you something, and I made this clear before, I'm gonna say it again, okay? You leave my yard jumping over thinking that the grass is greener on the other side, you go ahead and you do that, okay? You come back, you're going to see Willis mowing my yard. You understand? You're going to see the next man mowing my yard. You're going to see the next man planting my flowers, okay? Making a whole walkway for me so I can have a nice, what are those called? Gazebo? And I can sit there and sip my wine and be treated like the woman that I'm supposed to be treated like. All right? And that's something that they need to, you guys need to let them know. They want to bounce around from yard to yard. Let them go. Let them go. Okay? Let them go. They don't care about themselves. They didn't, clearly, especially when they decided to lose someone who was loving and caring and probably treating them better than their own parents. That was their choice. Don't let them make you feel guilty for them making the choices. They made their choice. They made their bed. Let them lie in it. And they can take all that bullshit with them. Okay? Do your healing. You get on with your shit. You're going to get over it. Trust me. Trust me. You're going to get over it. You're going to get over it. You're not going to sit there dwelling on it for the rest of your life. It's going to remain up here because it's going to be your guide, but it's not going to dwell. It's not going to consume your life. Okay? But your confirmation, guys, everything that you saw, everything you went through. Listen, if I was standing on the outside looking in, I would tell you. If I didn't know it myself, I would tell you. Give the benefit of the doubt. But you don't really know. But how are you? No, I'm confirming it for you, okay? Confirming it for you. You were not fucking crazy. You were not seeing things. They knew what they were doing. They knew they were breaking your heart. They knew they were hurting you. They knew they were invalidating you. They knew everything. And to come back and say, I don't know what happened. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of my face, I'm going to kick you in the throat. Simple as that. Because you are no longer that same person you used to be. No longer that same person. That's it. She's done. She's over. I'm done. I've learned. Now I'm going to be who I'm meant to be. It was fun while it lasted, guys. You guys are evolving. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You are evolving. Absolutely. Do they know they're actually narcissists? They probably don't know as far as classification. They probably don't know like, oh, I'm an narc. Maybe some do. I do believe some do, but they probably don't know specifically. Just like someone who has bipolar disorder, they may not know. A lot of the time they live in denial, but they know that their behaviors are wrong. Okay. When someone asks me that, like, you know, and I don't get mad for people asking me, but it's like, does it really matter? I think that's the better question. Does it matter? When someone's manipulating you, when someone's lying to you, do they not know that they're lying? If they're telling you they're at point A, but they're really at point B, do they not know that they're really not at point A, they're at point B? Right? I really don't think it matters if they know they are. I think they need to start waking the hell up and start becoming self-aware and start realizing that they need to take accountability, because if they don't, there are going to be people who are going to expose them, and in a way that can seriously do a little bit more than bruising their ego. It can seriously damage them, like severely damage them. I've learned from myself, the one thing I can say about myself, listen, did my ex do this to other people? Probably. And because of the fact that he holds on to his trauma, he holds on to the pain and the emotional detachment and the trauma bond that he has with other people in his life. And he continues to keep these people in his life, which is what continues to enable his paranoia and his fears and his emotional unavailability and his immaturity and all of that. I'm probably the first one to make this fucking move and not be afraid to say it. I'm probably the first one who actually just decided it's not the matter of you playing me. It's the matter of you blaming me. I don't like to be blamed for something I didn't do. I don't like to be blamed for something that I know for a fact I did not do. People get played all the time, guys. They get played all the time, okay? We've all been played, and it's okay to admit it. We have all been played, and maybe some of us have even played people. It is what it is. You playing me and you blaming me, two different things. And I don't tolerate shit like that from nobody. No one. So if anyone decides, well, Erica's doing this because she's bitter, I sleep good at night. I sleep like a baby. Okay? So damn good that I'm snoring. I'm good. Erica just wants attention. I get that when I walk out my door. I'm doing this. I'm putting my own money into this. Everything I produce, everything I do, I put my own money into it. I advertise on YouTube. I put my money into it. I don't ask for people to pay for anything. Okay? I even got to the point that I didn't even charge. I stopped charging for, like one-on-one sessions because people wanted to. Currently, I don't take one-on-one sessions right now because I'm a little busy, but I'm going to resume doing it again. But I don't even ask for money. People want to donate, they donate, but that's it. I don't ask nobody for anything because I don't want to see people go through this shit, man. This shit is some real painful shit. And at the end of the day, there are good people out in the world. So the way I see it is, and let that be known, and anyone watching, let it be known. Anybody tries to throw dirt on my name, please tell them to be careful, because that same shovel they're trying to bury my name with is going to be the same one that they're going to be digging their own grave with. Okay? I don't care if someone plays me. I've been played. I've been lied to. I've been cheated on. You name it, guys. I've been through it. I have been there. Okay? And it's not a big... But when someone says, this right here was toxic because of Erica, this right here didn't work out because of Erica, this... Oh, no. No, I don't think so. Nobody, you ain't blame, and you guys need to sit with that too. Don't let them blame you for shit you didn't do. Don't let them blame you for stuff you didn't do, and don't have them sitting there talking all kinds of, throwing dirt on your name. Because at the end of the day, even though it doesn't matter what other people think, Because let's face facts, them throwing dirt on your name is still lying. That's still manipulation. And what did I say? As sure as I am that there is a God, for every time they lie on your name, they're going to face something 10 times worse with God, because God does not like liars. Okay? But at the end of the day, you don't have to fight people. You don't have to argue with people, improving your innocence, improving things. Because everything that's in the dark, everything that's done in the dark always comes to the light. It always will. I like to think that I have paved the way. I have paved the way for anybody who has gone through this before me. Okay? And let me tell you something also, guys. You dealing with people, listen, if they're friends with exes, excuse me, I don't knock people with being friends with their exes. I told you guys how I feel about it. You know, it is what it is. But if they tell you one thing about an ex, they give you a story about an ex, and yet they're considering the ex as a friend, no. It's a mierda, okay? It's bullshit. You're not going to tell me that your ex did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way up to freaking X. And yet, if you notice that the dynamic between the two of them is completely, it's off, or whatever the case may be. Psychology does not encourage exes to be friends with one another, okay? They don't encourage it because of the fact that, listen, if your ex was friends with you and you're going through a relationship, you're going through turmoil, that ex is not going to be interested in your well-being or your happiness with someone else. No matter how much they sit there and tell you, well, we're friends. I'm interested in, your happiness, especially if it's not going to be with them. Especially if it's an ex who likes to use you and abuse you and make you feel like you owe them. You have to validate them. They're not going to be happy for your new relationship. Especially when they got to go through all this work to try to even get a relationship, let alone sustain it. Don't fall for it, guys. Oh, yes, they're all homegirls. They're all homegirls. They're all homeboys. Okay? These are people that they've met that either it didn't work out, they had an interest in the person, or the person had an interest in them. Something happened. What happens? They automatically go from someone I'm talking to this person's my homegirl. I never felt with that homegirl shit. I didn't fall for that homegirl shit. I let them know, yeah, it's a friend. It's a friend. That would be it's a friend. My homegirls are girls that I grew up with. My homegirls are girls that I've known for like over, a certain amount of years. And we have developed that serious bond, like that tight bond. And even homeboys, because I have grown up with, with guys in my life since like junior high school, those are my homeboys. Not somebody that I met online and then it's just like, this shit didn't work out. So, I'll keep you in my harem just in case. I don't re-fuck with people. That's my thing. I do not re-fuck with people. I can't do that. So at the end of the day, if you and I are not a good fit, I'm not going to sit here and give you the constellation prize of, oh, well, let's just be friends. No. It just doesn't make sense to do that. Because I could tell you we could be friends, and quite frankly, my life is so busy and so hectic, I wouldn't even be that good of a friend. That's how real I am. I wouldn't even be that good of a friend. So go find what you're looking for. All right? But that whole, if you have kids with them, it's different, I think. But in a way, that's still, you have to have like boundaries, okay? Because I have boundaries with my son's father. We both, we have boundaries set between one another. We had a tumultuous past. Yes, we did. Things didn't always, end up. But currently, the dynamic now, more respectful. It's more cordial. And we don't have issues with one another. Though he is single, I am single. He lives in his own place. I live in mine. Yes, we had issues in the past, but who doesn't have that? Who hasn't ever had that? What to do about married couples that are narcissistic, preying on young women? Married couples that are narcissistic, preying on young women. You know what that reminds me of? Epstein. That's what it reminds me of. That the whole Epstein, you know, the Epstein thing. The only thing I can truthfully say is, you know, if you have, because again, everything has to be proven. It has to be proven. And if you know these young women are being abused, you know, in more ways than one, you know, just like a district attorney has to gather up proof to convict someone, you have to have proof that this is happening to even bring it to authorities. Okay? And, you know, it's difficult to do that. It really is difficult to do that. You know, a lot of the time, if it's just emotional or psychological abuse, that's really hard to prove compared to sexual and physical abuse. You know, it's a lot harder to prove that. But if you have concrete proof, you know, I always say anything that involves physical abuse, you know, it's a lot harder to prove that. But if you have concrete proof, you know, I always say anything that involves younger people, whether it be children, you know, or underage minors, or, you know, or sexual abuse or physical abuse, you have all the proof that you need, take it to authorities. Do not hesitate to take it to authorities and let them proceed, you know, accordingly. Do they all do this to the supply? Wait, what? Do they do all this to the supply? He got pregnant. I'm trying to read. What's the name? Sunkissed. I'm not sure I really understand the question. Yeah, Ruth. It's none of his business. It's none of his business what you do. What you do in your own home is none of his business. As long as it's not endangering your children, and, you know, there's no need for him to come around to, you know, to feel that there's some type of child endangerment going on. What you do is your own business, okay? And if your children are not in the house and you and your man want to rollerblade around the house butt naked, that's your business. That's your business. It has nothing to do with an X is an X for a reason, right? It didn't work out. It is what it is. I'm no longer in your life. You're no longer in mine. We just deal with each other for the kids. That's it. And I'm not saying you got to be enemies with your ex. You don't. You don't. You can be cordial. But if you carry a trauma bond, with that person, you cannot have a personal relationship with that person. Not until you heal that trauma bond. Not until you isolate yourself from that and really heal yourself from that. Because all you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up continuously being sucked back into that. Or you're going to end up being with someone else and you can be abusive towards another person because you never healed that trauma bond. So you have to definitely, you know, if that's the case, work on that. Do not have a personal connection or relationship with someone you carry a trauma bond with. It's not going to end good. It's really not going to end good. And when they break up with their side pieces, they get moody. You don't know. And they attack you. Oh. You know, and the thing about that is because if they break up with the side pieces, if they don't have anybody else, or if they don't have anyone stroking their ego, and they're trying to, you know, just trying to grab for any kind of supply they can get, if they try to make their way back to you, or they try to approach you and you pretty much are like, nope, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, that narcissistic rage can come into effect. And they can, you know, they can do some damage with it. They can do some damage with it, you know, which is why I tell people be very, very careful. Don't underestimate just because, you know, listen, you could be dealing with a classic narcissist, which is the most superficial narcissist on the spectrum. That does not mean they're not capable of being dangerous, especially if they've had their ego bruised. They're very capable. They are very, very capable. Okay, to face criticism, embarrassment, shame, God knows what they're willing to do. or what they have already done. Yes. Hafsas. She says they are so good at mirroring the other person. Yep. Because you know what they say? The narcissist is a distorted mirror of yourself. They're distorted. So in this case, you know, you could be giving them compliments. You can be giving them gifts. You could be doing, you know, and they're pretty much mimicking you. It looks like reciprocation, but it's actually mirroring. Okay? It's mirroring. Reciprocation is when it's genuine. It's coming from them genuinely. It's coming from them because they really, truly want to do it for you. Mirroring is when, okay, you're doing it, so I got to do it. You know, and it's kind of, it almost feels kind of like transactional in a sense. It feels kind of transactional, you know, but there is a huge difference between the two, okay? And, you know, for them to do something, go out of their way on their own, like to, you know, do something really nice for you, or, you know, it's usually to either A, have something to hold over your head so they can throw something in your face when the time comes. B, they do it maybe in front of people to show that, you know, look at the nice boyfriend or the nice girlfriend that I am. Look, I'm getting this person, you know, to gain the attention, to gain the compliments of, you know, oh, wow, this person does this and that. And don't get me wrong. A lot of you, I'm sure, have done amazing things for these people and people have complimented you on it. But these people do it for the compliments. You do it because you want to do it for the person. You want to get them something nice. They do it because they want to be noticed. They want to be acknowledged for the good things that they do. Okay? It's to pretty much show people, so that way if shit hits the fan, or if you're being reactive towards their behaviors, they have something to hold to tell people, I don't know why this person's acting like this. Look at everything I do for them and they're acting like this. I'm telling you, it's to get you to look like a freaking insane person in front of other people, so other people can think that you're unstable. Why do they triangulate you? Like using apps, it's a common thing. It's pretty much triangulation. I mean, it runs a number of ways. But they pretty much do it because it's, you know what? They're like a vacuum cleaner. And it's like, yes, I'm getting this here, but I could also be getting this over there. You know, it depends on the way they're triangulating you. If they are trying to gain a response, like get you jealous. If they're trying to get you jealous, they will, you know, they will do things that seem subconscious. And they know that it's giving them attention. They know that it's making them look good in front of people. And it's kind of making you feel some kind of way because they're thriving off of it. And the reason is because they've been spending so much time invalidating you, making you feel insecure, making you feel like you're not, you know, you're loving and what you're giving them is not enough. When they're getting that attention from other people, that kind of makes you more insecure. Believe that or not. I mean, you had enough invalidation. So picture your partner gaining so much more attention and you're not even getting that kind of attention from your partner. Another way they may try to make you jealous is they may try to throw in your face if other people of the opposite or even the same sex are, you know, complimenting them or are trying to get with them or trying to, you know, like, oh yeah, they, you know, that person said that you're a lucky girl to have me as your man, or that person said that I'm beautiful and you better treat me right, or otherwise they're going to steal me away, you know, stuff like that. That's triangulation. That's to make you jealous. It's to make you feel like you need to go above and beyond to keep them. You have to go above and beyond to keep them. And they do that in your discard too. Okay? When they triangulate you, not everybody else does. They don't see it. You're the only one who sees it. You don't understand it, but you see it. And they're, they're feasting off of the attention they're getting from other people, plus they're feasting off of the supply that you're giving them by being reactive off of what it is they're doing. And they can take negative or positive responses. Doesn't matter, as long as they're getting it, because it shows that they still have emotional control over you. I see it this way. I'm going to feed you. I'm going to throw some cyanide in it. Just saying. Just saying. He will tell me to tell my cousin to come over. That better be a male cousin. A male cousin who's cool to hang out with you guys. But because my first response will be, what the hell do you want my cousin coming over here for? For what? He did that to me and his daughters with the gift bombing. Just like love bombing. Yep. Some of them use gifts, money. They'll use that as a way to, maybe get you to forgive them, or, get you to kind of cool your temperature, to they'll and they have this whole thing. Well, the person's love language might be receiving gifts. That's materialistic shit. Okay. I'm not really big on the love languages. If that's what you guys follow, I mean, to each their own. That's just not me. I'm just like, look, treat me right, I'm gonna treat you right. Okay, what you give me, I'm gonna give you. That's it. Okay. And the whole love language, well, my love language is accepting gifts. Accepting gifts, that's your love language. So you want me to, you like it? Okay, so I'll get you a nice little gift. I'll go to Bath and Body Works. I'll get you a spray and a lotion. That's still a gift. When they start looking at you towards that big stuff, well, I want a car. You're going to have to screw that chick over there, because I ain't getting you no car. Especially when you only giving me this bit of loving. I don't think so. With him, he will rob Peter to pay Paul. Yeah, no. That's just, no. I would not. And it's sad when you start a business with them, or if you have a home with them, or if you have assets with them, because it's like, damn, now trying to break everything down evenly and it's just, to me, I would strongly advise people, if you're not too sure, before you do anything remotely serious, such as buying a home, getting married, combining assets, getting into a business, wait, give it at least 5 years, at least. Don't even tell them your plans. Don't even tell them it's sad that you have to look at it this way, but don't even tell them what your plans are. It's like when people say, Erica, what do you like in a man? Why am I going to tell you? Why am I going to tell you what I like in a man so you can try and be that man? No, I want to see how you are, who you are, and I'll see if I can tolerate being around you, or if we're a good match, or if I feel that, because if we're not a good match, then we don't have to waste any more time. We'll just go our separate ways. I strongly see it this way. Don't tell people your plans, man. Keep it between you and God. And, just know that with him having your back, he's going to see to it that your plans go through accordingly. Sometimes they say don't, because when you speak it, the devil can hear you. The devil can hear you. So at the end of the day, he can't read your mind, but he can definitely hear you when you speak. And he tries to answer people's prayers, but at the end of the day, don't tell anybody anything. That saying, move in silence. Move in silence. That's it. Okay. Eventually you'll start to notice if they're a narcissist, or if they're a narcissistic person, you'll start to notice things about them that are just too familiar, or just too red flaggish, or just like, you know something, nope, don't want to deal with this, don't want to do this. You are not the person. I already see where this is going and it's not going to happen. You could avoid so many headaches, so many problems, so much drama. You can avoid all of that. Yeah, and you know what, JD? At least she's telling you. But even so, at the end of the day, I still wouldn't fuck with her either. I'll be honest with you. She knows what type of person he is. And you know something? Here's how I see it. People, people have allies, right? You have allies. And if your allies go to war, they go to war for you, or they go to war with you, and the enemy grabs hold of, some people from your camp, from your allies. You think if they torture them, they ain't gonna talk? So now you gotta look at it like, as much as his mom, his sister, his aunt, his cousin, whomever, they tell you, you know what, you're better off leaving. I'm not saying that they're bad people, but I'm saying is this. You think they would not try and hoover you back in to take off the stress and tension that he may be putting on them to put it back onto you? Think about that. You have to think about that too. Yeah. Yeah, and that's just, everybody thinks they are. Everyone thinks they're special. Everyone thinks that, it's, and at the end of the day, it's just, these people are just, they're driven by just evil. They're driven by evil. They become like the people they resent. They become like the people they resent the most. And at the end of the day, guys, it's not your problem. It's not your problem. It was never your problem. It was never your fault. You didn't even know these people when they started acting like this. And at the end of the day, you got to leave them where you found them. Leave them where you found them. That's it. Don't feel bad for abandoning. Yes, I said it. Don't feel bad for abandoning something that, if you put them on your ship, if they're out in sea and they're sitting on a little life raft, and you decide to pick them up and put them on your ship, they're gonna be drilling holes into your ship, just because of the fact that you have a huge boat and they sitting there on a little raft. That's the kind of people these people are. How do you cut ties off with the family? Cutting ties with the family, I avoid. I don't deal with with anyone, as far as anyone who's toxic. If I know they like to start drama, if they like to cause problems, if they like to do gossip and all, I just stay away. I avoid. I don't get involved with them. If I need to, I delete them from my social media. If I need to, I block them from my phone. I don't bother with people who insist on disrupting my peace. I'm not doing that. You just basically think about everything that, you will have to gain and everything you'll have to lose. So in the end, toxic family, they're no exception to the rules, guys. If your family's toxic, if they're full of narcissistic people, I already have so many family members I don't talk to. I don't bother with them. And I see no reason to. As long as they're not affecting your paper, paying your rent, taking care of your kids, doing what you got to do, just cut them off. Yeah. No, I'm good. I know, JD. I know. It's definitely hard when you've bonded with their children. It really is hard. But unfortunately, the children are pawns. And at the end of the day, their loyalty is going to go to their parents. Their loyalty is going to go to, you know, that narcissistic parent, that family, what have you. Just love her from the distance, you know, send good thoughts, pray for her. Just pray for her and ask God to protect her, you know, because as much as you have a bond with that girl and you have, you know, some kind of relationship with her, he will use her. He will use her. He can use her. It's just not a position you want to put that little girl in. Yes, they do. Well, guys, I'm so glad. It's already 10 o'clock. I didn't even realize the time. I'm so glad that I came on tonight. I know that I was kind of slacking, which was like last week, why I had to do TikTok and YouTube at the same time. But I'm working hard to keeping it separated so I can be focused on, you know, one platform at a time. I thank you guys so very much for coming out tonight. I'm sorry, my eyes, like my contact lens is just sliding all over the place. I thank you guys for coming out tonight. And thank you guys for, you know, for anyone who's new, who's, you know, sharing for the first time, it's much appreciated. You know, you're helping a lot of different people. And I do hope you get a chance to look at the videos on the platform. Extended videos are on the YouTube channel, which is also on the bio. And, you know, like I said, anybody going through the motions, everybody feeling it, you guys are not alone, okay? We're here. We're here. We're all here together. It's group therapy. It's a weekly check-in. You know, like I said, I'm not a therapist, but at the end of the day, you want to vent, you want to let it out, you got questions, you come here, and it's for free. Can't get no better than that, right? So, guys, tomorrow I will be live on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Again, the link is in the bio. If you are interested in joining tomorrow, you can do that as well. And get to meet some awesome people on that side too. Very, very, very cool people. Okay, guys? If you need me, you have all the details, all the contact info. You can reach me on Instagram. You can reach me on Facebook. You can reach me on YouTube. And you can send me an email. All that info is in my YouTube channel under any of the videos. So, you know, if you have any questions, if it's an emergency, you can definitely send it, you know, send it 911. All right? Thank you again, guys, for being here tonight. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for showing love. You guys are awesome, beautiful people. You deserve happiness, love, all that good stuff. And I'm just so glad that I could be a part of the journey with you. All right? So if I didn't get to answer any questions, if I missed anyone, then please just send me a message and I'll be more than glad to help you with anything you need. All right, guys? I hope you all have a great weekend. I hope you all have a great night. Blessings, love, peace, all that good stuff. Big Mama's tired. It's past my bedtime. My old ass is going to bed. So much love to you all, guys. Sweet dreams, all that good stuff. And I will see you all next week, Thursday, 8 o'clock, right here, same spot. All right, guys? Thank you very much, guys, also for the gifts. Mucho appreciated. You guys are truly awesome. Thank you very much. Love you all. Have a great night, and I'll see you all next week. Good night, guys.